Welcome to the video, guys. In this video I'm going to be showing you all how to replace the turbo actuator for the Ram with the 6.7 Cummins. This is a super common repair that we do in our shop. It's super easy, but you do have to have software to be able to get in to reprogram the turbo actuator. But let's get started. So the turbo actuator is right up there. It's that silver component. You can see I've already pre-cut the flap. We do so many of these guys that we just have learned to just cut the wheel well and just make it easy for the next guy. So let's get started. There is a wiring harness down there, guys, so be careful if you do it this way. Don't cut that wiring harness. It's the first step here, guys. After you cut the wheel well or take out the fender, however you want to do it. There's an electrical connector here. You just you pop the locking tab off with a pocket screwdriver. I sprayed this with isopropyl alcohol 70%, made it come off real easy. Guys, isopropyl alcohol 70% is your best friend for electrical connectors. I'm spraying some penetrating oil now. There's 4 hex head screws we have to take out. So I'm just kind of spraying some penetrating oil on them to increase my chances of not turning this into a nightmare. Guys, they are very prone to stripping out, or breaking, not so much, but stripping out. So to prevent that, I'd spray them with penetrating oil and make sure the bolt head is clean. And then I will hammer in the hex head. It is a M5, and I will hammer it in, as you'll hear and see. Guys, don't use power tools on these bolts. Trust me, use hand tools. I used a 3/8 ratchet with, I believe, 2 6-inch extensions, and then my front extension does have a wobble tip on it. That's what worked best for me, but use hand tools. Once you get the bolts loosened up, guys, it's going to probably start leaking coolant on its own. You're going to lose about 2 to 3 gallons of coolant for this repair, but then once you get them out, you just pull the turbo actuator off and let it drain. There is a harness bolted to this turbo actuator. You can see me getting it out right now. I believe it was a 10mm bolt holding it in, but you got to pull that off to get it out. Hell yeah, brother. Alright, guys, now that you got it off, make sure you get all your old gaskets and stuff out if they stuck behind like this one, and walk away and go to lunch or take a pretty long break. I took a 1-hour lunch because this does take a good amount of time for all this coolant to drain out. You don't want to try to reinstall the new turbo actuator with it draining coolant and leaking coolant. You're going to want it really clean, and I'll explain that here shortly. But just walk away and take a break. Alright, guys, we're back from lunch here. Let's get this surface prepped so we can get our new one in. A lot of people don't clean the surfaces, but I always do. Just use some Scotch-Brite pads. Don't be using any like wire wheels or anything crazy, guys. You're just trying to get the surface clean of any crazy imperfections. So I used a real fine Scotch-Brite pad and then a heavier grade one, and it got cleaned up pretty quick and easy. After you get it cleaned up, guys, you're going to want to get your turbo actuator gear aligned. So you're going to want to grab this gear, and you're going to want to pull it all the way to the left. Don't yank on it, but you're going to want to push it all the way towards the rear of the truck, and that will align it to line up with the teeth that are there in the new turbo actuator. There is a tool that comes with it that has holes and stuff that you put in, but it's a pain in the ass, so just push it all the way to the left. So guys, earlier when I was talking about keeping it clean, this is why. So your area on the right there, that is where your coolant is supposed to go in and out. Now, the area on the left where the gear is, that I'm actually putting grease into right now, that is where you do not want coolant to get into. If you get coolant down in there, it's going to suck it into that gear train where the grease is, and it is going to cause it to lock up. I promise, guys, we see it a lot. Guys get lazy, and we put a new turbo actuator in. It's like a $1,600 part within a matter of weeks. So keep it clean, and because you don't want to do this again. Even though it is an easy repair, you don't want to get lazy and have to do this again, especially if it's on your own dime and your time. So yeah, guys, keep it clean and make sure you use the grease. It comes in the package. You can see it right there, the white package. Put it inside the actuator and then stick it up on the teeth of the gear train that is up on the turbo, like I'm doing right now. Next step, guys, is incredibly important. So do not install the turbo actuator. You're going to get it up in there, you're going to let it hang, and you're going to plug the electrical harness connector in, and you're just going to let it hang. Do not install it. I repeat, do not install it. Plug it in with the electrical connector and let it hang. So guys, the original code was the second one down, lost communication with turbocharger control module. Guys, if you see that code, check your harness, check your connection plug, make sure it's good, but I can almost guarantee it's going to be a turbocharger actuator like what we are installing. We see the code all the time, and we just put a new actuator in it, and it fixes it like 100% of the time. So, but what we need to do now is we need to calibrate the new turbocharger actuator. So guys, I am using Mopar software. You do not need it to do this, but you do need to be able to get into the truck, so you can't be locked out of it like the newer trucks. And you have to have the ability to do a turbocharger actuator recalibrate. So what you're going to want to do, and it's going to tell you in these instructions to not install the turbocharger, not install the turbo actuator to the turbocharger and let it hang. Literally what I just told you in the last segment, it's going to tell this to you, and then you're going to hit continue, and then it's going to tell you to install the actuator on the turbo. I'm going to fast forward here, guys, through the reinstallation. Super easy. Sorry about the shitty camera angle, but you're going to make sure your gaskets are on it. You're going to reinstall it with the 4 new bolts that are in the turbocharger actuator kit. Don't crank them down too tight because they will break, but you're just going to put your 4 bolts in. Don't forget your little wiring harness on the outside. And then you're going to go back to the laptop and we'll get it finished up. What you're going to do now, guys, you're going to come back to your computer and you're going to finish the calibration procedure by hitting continue. It'll take a few seconds and then it will be done. And then, guys, what you're going to do after that, you're going to fill up your coolant. It takes about 2 to 3 gallons. I would recommend clearing all your codes because you probably have other related codes because of this fault like I did. And then I backed it out of the shop. I ran a regen on it just to make sure all the other codes went away and that nothing was leaking. Also, by running a regen, it sucked all the air bubbles out of the cooling system. So make sure you do overfill it because you are going to get big air pockets in there. Then I topped it off with coolant one more time, and it was back in service and back on the road. But anyways, guys, that is going to sum this video up. If you enjoyed this video, please shoot me a like and a subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and stay tuned for more content. Thanks, guys.